Hello, and welcome to On the Brink, where we're going to talk about things that are coming down the pike. In my previous video, we talked about the greatest wealth transfer. Well, we're going to talk about the greatest wealth transfer again. And why is that? It's because we really are on the brink of the greatest wealth transfer. What's driving the greatest wealth transfer? Well, it's digital assets. Which ones? The ones that are ISO 20022 compliant. I'm going to give you a quick list of those. That is XRP, XLM, XDC, IOTA, HBAR, Quant, Algo, and Cardano. These are the ones that you want to follow. Again, this show really isn't for the professional type investor. And also, I am not an investor advisor. So take this with a grain of salt. This is what I am doing, along with a lot of other YouTubers that I mentioned in previous videos, which I will have links for down at the bottom. But this video is more for the person who is looking for their one shot, that one opportunity that you never had. So pay attention to what's happening out there and find out what you need to know in order to take advantage of it. I know you're not an investor, so I'm only going to give you two rules. What are the two rules? Buy and hodl. So what is hodl? It's HODL. You're going to buy these assets and you're going to hold on for dear life. That's what hodl is. So again, two rules. Buy and hodl. A lot of the guys out there, yep, they're buying low, they're selling high, they're going in and out, they're washing and rinsing and going back and forth. Well, for the average Joe like you and I, you'll get wrecked trying to time it. And so your best bet is buy and hodl. It's just like people who bought Bitcoin back in 2013. It was being sold for $40, $60 in that range. Then it jumped up to 200 and now it's at 100,000. So could you imagine if you just bought back then and held on till now? For every 40 bucks, you'd have $100,000. So those are your two rules. Buy and hodl. Now the question is, how do you buy it? Well, I may in the future make a video on what exchanges I'm using and where I'm storing it on cold wallets. So we'll go over that in the future. But the main concern is, how are you going to physically afford to buy these? Because I know most of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So what are you going to do? How are you going to get this stuff? I covered it on my last video. We talked about, I know it sounds dumb, but if you just drive slow, I know it sounds crazy, but when you get to the stoplight and the light turns green, you don't have to punch it. Just ease on the gas pedal. Slowly get up to speed. And by doing that, and then looking at the stoplights ahead, when you're coming up to it and it's already red, start slowing down. Slow down ahead of time, and then maybe you time it just perfectly. It turns green, and you keep going. You'll save a lot of gas money. Believe me. I'll give you a quick example. A friend of mine who lives fairly close to where I live, who happens to also work in, he's actually like a block away from where I work. So we're very close, very competitive, or sorry, comparable. He's got an old beat up pickup truck like I have, but I'm not buying a new one right now because I need to put my money elsewhere. But him and I drive to the same area from about the same area every day. And we talked about it the one day. And I said, well, how much are you spending gas? He says about 60 bucks. I said, well, I spend about 50. He goes, oh, yeah, you're saving about 10 bucks. Hey, that's 10 bucks. I can buy an extra, who knows how many XRP or XLM with that 10 bucks. But wait, there's more. So we got talking about it. Yes, he has the one job. And I mentioned earlier in my other videos, I have two jobs. And so I drive to my one job, then I go to the other job. And on probably 2 to 3 days out of the week, I actually go back to my other job and then I come home. So I'm going to and from, and then home. So I'm doing a whole lot more driving than he is, and I'm still $10 cheaper. So how much do you really think I'm saving? I don't know, maybe $30, $40 a week. And guess what I'm doing with that? Investing it where I can, while I can. Why do I say while I can? Well, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, you could have bought XRP at 55 cents. And what's it at right now? I'm going to say around $2.50. Now, these prices are in US. It's going to look it up to confirm before somebody corrects me. Yep, currently right now, it's Sunday night, December 8th, 9:30, and it is $2.50 US. What that is in Canadian, I don't know, but you can look that up. So, because I'm saving $30, $40 a week on gas, 3 weeks ago I was buying at 50 cents, say $40 I saved. And it was 50 cents. $40 divided by 50, basically double it. I could have got 80 XRP. And what's XRP going to be worth in the future? Could be 3 digits, could be 4 digits. I really believe that it's going to go up to maybe about $1,000 per. But let's bank on $100 per, even $10 per. And right now it's $2.50. So if you got $1,000 involved or invested, you could get up to 4 times that amount, which would be 4,000. So for every $1,000, you're gonna make 4,000. So that's why you're gonna drive slow and save some money so that you can actually buy some of these digital assets. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't want to be that guy driving slow, whatever, because it's not going to save me any time. Well, according to Stats Canada, people who drive fast in the city, they only save about 1 minute and 36 seconds. So you're not saving that much time. And in fact, the one time I was driving to work and I just happened to know this one vehicle because it had a little sticker on the back and I watched it. So I saw him at the stoplight and then I saw him again like 3 stoplights later. And then again, I saw him. So I saw him like 3 times in my one trip. Then about a week later, I saw the same vehicle. And again, almost from the time I left my house, I could see him. And then 3 or 4 stoplights later, I see him again. And then 3 or 4 stoplights later, I see him again. Well, by the time I got to work, I pulled in. Guess who I pulled up next to? It was him. And he was just getting out of his car. So he didn't save any time. I saved gas money and we got to work at the same time. So I'm telling you, this works. Let's say I'm only saving $30 a week. 30 times 4, that's $120 a month that I could be investing elsewhere. So you guys really need to start thinking about this stuff. And it's going to get harder and harder to buy these coins because it's going to continue to go up. Right now, you can buy an XRP for $2.50 US. For those in Canadian, it's going to be $3.20 or something like that. I don't know. You can look that up, but it's going to get harder. And what you want to do is you want to purchase it now while you can. And how are you going to do that? By driving slow, right? So that's one of the things I've been doing. What's one of the other ones I've been doing? Well, you can call me Fred Sanford. I don't care. But as I'm driving down the road, I see some scrap metal sitting at the side of the road. I stop, I pick it up, and I throw it in the back of my truck. And then maybe a few days later, I find something else. I throw it in my truck. I keep doing this. It might take me a week. It might take me 4 weeks. It varies. But sometimes I load up my truck real quick. And then on my way to or from work, I stop at the scrapyard and I get 30, $40 extra. Say I do it twice a month on average. That's an extra $80 a month. So, and sometimes I've had up to $100 loads. So you just start adding up the numbers. All of a sudden, now you can afford, well, you should stop trying to go out. But if you're still going out and you still need somewhere to find some money, you just found some, right? So do what you can, do whatever you can. And like I said, scrapping has helped me out quite a bit. Now I can hear some of you, well, I just have a minivan. Okay. Throw some cardboard in the back, take the seats out, throw some cardboard down or plastic or whatever, and then start grabbing stuff as you see it. Or if you have a car, do the same thing. Why? I don't know. Let's say you grabbed an extra 1,000 XRP over the next few months and it goes up to 10. Well, there's $10,000. I mean, are we driving Ferraris? No, but you could still get a decent car at $10,000 to replace the car that you already have. That I know you don't want stuff in the back seat, but do what you can. Get creative. Um, do anything you can to save a few cents, a few dollars here and there. Eat at home. Make sure you make your own lunches, take to work. Whatever it is that you got to do, get creative right now. There are other things that I'm doing that I'm not going to mention, but you can get creative on your own and figure out what it is that you can do to save more and more money so that you can invest. Again, this is not for the professional investor. It's for the guy who's looking for that one shot. And here it is. We are only going to go through the greatest wealth transfer one time. Are you going to take advantage of it? Or are you going to say, shoulda, woulda, coulda? So you need to do that stuff or don't. That doesn't matter to me. If you do and you benefit in the long run, who benefits? You do. So maybe it's a good idea to start looking into some of this stuff. I know you got important projects you're working on, but how about we stop the projects, look into what it is we can do, and start doing some homework and investigate where do I need to start putting my money? So, because we only have one time to go through this. And I can't stress that enough. It is very important. This is the most important thing you can do in your life right now. That important project will still be there 3 months from now. But maybe you can pay for it and have somebody else do it for you if you collect enough digital assets, right? So look into it. And I'm going to give you some more homework. Your homework is seek out some of these YouTubers, the ones that are talking about the greatest wealth transfer, some that are talking about different digital assets, and find them. Do your homework. Figure it out what you got to do in order to be able to take part of what's happening right now. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we only go through the greatest wealth transfer one time. And to me, there's nothing more important than doing what you got to do to figure out how to take advantage of it. I've given you a few ideas. You need to expand on it on your own. Sit down, come up with a game plan, write it down, and see how you make out in the long run, right? So, some of the YouTubers that I didn't mention earlier, well, he's actually not a YouTuber. He's on um, Buy Me a Coffee, and that is Phoenix from Patriot Intel Report. I have been following him for since 2009, I think it is, and I learned so much from him by tuning in and listening to him. And you're gonna want to find some other people like him as well. And in fact, he's the one who led me to Bitcoin back in 2013. So I wouldn't be here if I wasn't listening to people like this. So you need to find out who it is that you need to listen to and listen as often as you can. The more you listen, the more you're going to find out about things that you didn't know about previously. So with that, I think I've said enough, and I hope you guys do your homework, find some of these people, and hopefully in the end we can all have a party together. All right. For now, I'm out of here.